Welcome to this week's Texas Roadhouse press conference. We have a lot going on this week. Men's golf is currently in El Paso at the Cactus Golf that's hosted by Western New Mexico. Tomorrow we have baseball at home at 1 o'clock against University of the Southwest. On Thursday, we have men's and women's basketball as they take on Cameron. And that starts at 5:15. We will be, it's presented by Medical Center Health. It's their Hoops for Hearts, and the first 400 fans free get a free t-shirt, and it's also a whiteout. And then at halftime of the men's game, we'll be doing the 3.0 club, celebrating and honoring all the students that earned a 3.0 this past semester. And then they will also be playing on Saturday, starting at 2 against Midwestern State. Softball has a very busy weekend in Tucson, Arizona. They play Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. On Friday, they will play Fort Lewis and Simon Fraser. On Saturday, Oklahoma Baptist and Black Hills State. And then on Sunday morning, they play Colorado Mesa. And tennis is also very busy this week with matches on Thursday against UT Tyler, Friday against Dallas Baptist, Saturday against Southern Arkansas, and Sunday against Collin County Community College all around the Dallas area. And to start off today's press conference, we have men's basketball coach Josh Newman.
Good job. Thank you. Ready?
Yes.
Okay. Obviously, we came off another tough road swing. Thankfully, the road games are over for a little while. We've had 5 straight road games, and I think a lot of that kind of took its toll and eventually really caught up with us this week. As we played an Eastern New Mexico team that's surging, and obviously the number 7 team in the country, West Texas, that I know when we played them the first time, it was obviously a very close game. We felt like that one got away from us, and you could see they came out with a sense of urgency right from the beginning. Unfortunately for us, again, the tail of the tape is turnovers. We're shooting the ball at a really high percentage, but when you take 20 less shots than the other team, your defense is relied on a lot more, and unfortunately for us, we're not getting the stops that we need. So we got to take care of the ball. We are really glad to be at home. We kind of missed the Falcon Dome, and we miss all the Falcon faithful. And we're going to have obviously a great crowd hopefully on Thursday with a whiteout, the celebration of some few things. It's a great time to bring your Valentine date. The restaurants are very difficult, I think, to get in to eat. So why don't you bring your date to the Falcon Dome and have a nice night with the game. So we're excited to be back here and looking forward to this week.
Coach, are you guys tired at all? Being on the road for 3 weeks and not having a big roster to work with right now?
Yeah, we only have got 9 guys, and I think they are tired. I sensed it a little bit versus Eastern New Mexico, and I think right out the chute versus West Texas, you could see that we were a little fatigued. And give the guys a lot of credit. They came back in the second half and they fought. Again, we just dug such a big hole versus a really good basketball team, and you can't do that on the road. So a little bit of it's fatigue. We got to make sure we manage the guys this week and make sure we're fresh on Thursday.
Next 6 games, how big is this stretch, especially 4 out of the 6 are at home?
Well, it determines postseason play. So there you go. I mean, obviously, what we're trying to do is we're trying to build our culture. The first year you want to build things in the right way, and sometimes you got to go back to go forward. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer to create a foundation, and I see that happening with us right now. But these next 6 games are really important to us. If we want to continue to extend our season, we got to find a way to win a couple of them.
Are you confident in your guys that they can pull through these next 6 games?
Confident. I'm confident they're going to work hard. I wish I could say we're not going to turn the ball over. I don't know if I can tell you that. I know that they want to be successful. I know they want to win. I know they're trying to listen. So all those things are still trying to fall into place. But they haven't given up, and that's a really good thing. We talked after the game about what's left, what we need to do, and we talked about how excited they need to be today. So in the next hour, I will find out how excited they are and if they're ready to go. But I'm confident they will want to do that.
Was everyone healthy this weekend?
Little bit. Maurice actually got hurt again. Maurice Walton, he only played, I think, 4 minutes in the game. He's having some back issues. Xavier Ledet is cleared. He's coming off his concussion. So we're getting there. I wouldn't say we're full strength, but we're getting close.
This next matchup, what's it looking like with Cameron?
Well, it was a great game. We dug a huge hole. We came back, and we're very fortunate to win on the road. They're in the same spot we are right now. They're trying to, fight for postseason play. So I expect their best punch, their best opportunity. This is a big week for them, Midwestern and Cameron, as well as us. And so I think the teams that obviously have the most success this week are going to find themselves playing in March.
What does the next 6 weeks look like for you in terms of where you can see this team going? Is there a possibility of a switch being flipped and, we roll through conference, or what do you think?
Honestly, right now, Jake, it's all about one game, and that's all we can think about is how do we prepare for Cameron, because that's the most important game at this point. I don't know if there's a switch. We've been waiting for that switch to flip, and unfortunately, we've turned the ball over all year long. We've scored the ball at a high level all year long. Defensively, we haven't been able to get those big stops, and I don't know if there's a switch to do that. So I don't know. I don't think there's a switch, honestly. I think we are who we are, and we've got to be better at what we're doing. But we're just taking one game at a time. And the most important game right now for us is Thursday versus Cameron.
What were the guys like after the game on Saturday after 2 losses?
Obviously truly disappointed, which is a good thing. They're disappointed. They're not making plans that the season's over. I mean, they wanted to know, what do we have to do? We put everything up on the board, but most importantly, the most important thing is the next game. But they were disappointed, and that's a good thing. You can feel the dejection, all those things. But hey, at this point, we got to rally around it. We got to change it. And we got to do what we can do to control our the things that we can control, and that's obviously hopefully going to be on Thursday.
How do you limit those turnovers?
It's a great question. I don't know. If I knew, I would tell you. I don't know, because a lot of them are just careless. It would be different if teams were pressing us out of the gym and we couldn't handle the pressure, but a lot of these are self-inflicted. Not making the right play at the right time, not really thinking or valuing the basketball. We run for turnovers in practice. I yell at turnovers in practice. We've done everything to there's only 12 balls on the rack, and after the 12th turnover, we're just going to run. And if we have an hour left of practice, we're going to run an hour. Well, we're going to spend a lot of time running right now, which I don't know if that makes us better. So I don't know. It's just, again, continue to watch film, understanding, hey, that's a good pass, that's not a good pass. Maybe it's a good pass, but maybe not right now. We need to make that pass. So it's just continue to try to understand, most importantly.
When you guys went up to Amarillo, I saw you went to Ana Rivera's preschool, or elementary school.
Elementary, yeah.
There. Any reason for that? I know that they also honored him when he was at West Texas A&M, right on that?
I didn't know they honored him.
I think they celebrated for him. I don't know.
Oh, really? Well, one of the things that we do is, as we talked about earlier, we're trying to create a culture. And this is year one. And when you create a culture, there's so many things that go into place. And one of ours is connecting with the community. And we've always talked about, as a staff, we want our team to represent the community. And Adam's from Amarillo. It just makes all the sense in the world to go visit his elementary school, spend time, question and answer sheet, answer session with some third graders. And it's just neat because now those youngsters went home and they told their parents or brothers and sisters that they got to meet the basketball team at UTV. And they had never heard about the Falcons before. So that's really important for us as a program. And it just honestly makes complete sense to us. And we try to do it any and every time we go somewhere, honestly, if we have a chance.
That's all I got.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Next up is head women's basketball coach Trey Booth.
Coach, what's your thoughts on this past week?
Disappointed, obviously Saturday was really tough. We knew that going in, but Eastern we lost them by 6 years, so we thought we had a pretty good opportunity to be competitive, and we dug ourselves a hole early and really wasn't able to respond to the deficit.
Are you starting to look at next year at all in terms of just, this season's kind of not going away?
Yeah, I think we have 6 games left to play though, so we want to make sure our seniors go out the right way, value their days left. And then one huge area of a weakness for ours this year was a lack of experience in the Lone Star Conference. We had KP, she's the only one that had experience, so we're going to value the next 6 games, that's over a quarter of the conference play left, to really gain some experience with who will be our returning group.
Is it a lot of youngsters, you feel like that's why you're struggling so much, especially because you brought in such a brand new roster this whole year?
Possibly. That's, I think, one of a few. I think bottom line is we need to get better. But I do think experience is her teacher. And so we're going to hopefully learn a lot and then work really hard in the postseason and summer to improve the skill set of the players that we currently have that we'll bring back.
Go ahead, Sydney. Go ahead. Nope.
Have any of the girls surprised you, stepped up as leaders at all?
Yeah, Christmas has done a pretty good job in the last couple weeks. And she had her career high for us on Saturday. So she's really valuing every day and trying to get better and a competitor. So we look to have her back next year in more of a leadership form, most likely.
Do you think your team has a better chance of getting that first conference win now that you're home this week?
I hope so. You know, we lost to Cameron in overtime at Cameron. Right now, we're still playing for reasons other than March at this point, which is tough to really pin down what those are. I think it's every person's purpose is now a little different. Our seniors are different than our returners. So, but Cameron's playing for a tournament. They need to win, and so we need to find what our competition is within ourselves and our purpose this week to really come in as motivated, if not more motivated than what Cameron is, because they are a game back from the conference tournament.
What do you say to the girls at practice or after the games to keep them motivated?
Well, really now it is all about our purpose. What is our purpose for practice, individually and as a team? And so that's really been it. We had individual meetings going into our Saturday game to try to make sure we are fulfilling our individual purpose, and our seniors especially.
Do you think that's tough for the girls to get that motivation, I guess, throughout the remainder of the season?
Yeah, you know, the consensus was individually that we're all frustrated, but we're still motivated. So that's the key, staying motivated.
Does that make you feel good that they're still...
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's all I got, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Coach,
Thanks,
appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach.
Next up is head softball coach Gianna Tagliaferro.
Yes.
Coach, I was gonna ask you, how's it feel to come home this weekend, but we're not doing that now, so,
Well, it's good for one day.
how do you think the start of the season has gone for you guys?
I think we started out, got our first road win. I think that was good, but I think we had a little bit of a rough start. But with that being said, there's so much season left that I don't think it's way too early to hit a panic button or way too early to even start worrying about what the season's going to be. We fortunately have our bye week, our third week, which everyone else is starting conference. So with that being said, we still have another week to kind of get our footing and really have a leg up on everybody else that's going to have bye weeks later in the season.
I know you guys said from the start, hey, we're gonna be a young team, but how much experience do you think they're getting in these tournaments that you guys are having every single weekend, where it's 3 or 4 games each weekend?
I think a tremendous amount, honestly. I think that there's a lot more games to be played, so I think with that being said, we're able to switch people in and out and kind of see how they're going to do in different situations. Ideally, we only have one senior. So with that being said, there's a lot of innings to be played and a lot of positions that need to be filled. So we're kind of getting into a groove and seeing who's going to fit where and kind of seeing where everyone's going to fill their role come conference time.
What's the chemistry like on the team right now? I know it's early, but...
It's early, but it's great, honestly. I think they are the funniest people they know. They love each other, and whether that be good or bad, but we're also like, because we're so close-knit, we get on each other's nerves sometimes. So we've been on the road, and now we'll continue to be on the road for this weekend, and then we'll be back home for next week. But so it's it's like having a bunch of sisters. So it's good and bad. We get on each other's nerves, but then 5 seconds later, they're asking each other, what they want, if they want to hang out. So it's okay. But they genuinely like each other, and I think that is going to mean a lot later on when we get to conference. Our season's super long with 56 games, so with that being said, we still have 50 left. So there's plenty of room to grow, plenty of room to get the experience, plenty of room to get our footing and really learn who we're gonna be.
So not a whole lot of experience in the group, but did you see any of the young players step up this past weekend?
Oh, absolutely. Valerie Gonzalez is leading the team right now with a batting average of 500 as a freshman. And an on-base percentage of like 1.01. It's crazy. That's unheard of, to be honest. Valerie Gonzalez is doing a tremendous job. Avery Castillo has grown from last week to this week and really stepping up into be like a power pitcher, which I think I've seen that all along. She just had to know that she had it within her. Courtney Cagle also being able to be behind the plate and step into that leadership role in college. I think she's doing that really well. And then some of the returners, Abby Hernandez, Alyssa Lopez, everyone's kind of seeing where they fit, and I think that's the biggest part within team sport is that they're all the best from wherever they came from, and now they've got to find out where they fit within this team.
Well,
Perfect. Thanks,
Thanks,
Coach.
Coach.
That's awesome.
thank you.
And last up, we have head baseball coach Brian Ranky.
Feeling good?
Yeah.
Good weekend.
Yeah, it was.
What'd you think? 3-0. That's pretty
It's
awesome.
the coldest I've ever been in my entire life. But we played the 10 a.m. game on, I guess, Friday, and I think it was 13-degree wind chill. And Wednesday or Thursday wasn't great weather-wise. Friday was probably a little worse. Saturday was the warmest day. It just rained all day. So, I really thought they did a really good job with handling adversity of the weather. Obviously, both teams are out in it, but sometimes teams from the South don't do very well in the cold weather.
Game 1, it was the pitching. I'm liking the pitcher game. Went 8 innings.
Ivan Thomas.
Yeah, Ivan Thomas went, 1 earned. That was incredible. How great was it for him to start a sophomore campaign with that?
Well, it was a huge bounce back week for him because the week before against Rogers, I think he only went 2/3 of an inning. And so a couple adjustments that he made during the week really improved. It still wasn't as good as what he can be, but he obviously pitched very well. We played really good defense that game, and we got, the one clutch hit at the time that we needed it. We did not have very many opportunities. East Central really shut us down. Their 2 guys on the mound did a really good job.
How about pitching as a whole then? Because I know you said after Rogers State that was the one thing that you wanted the team to really focus on and improve on.
There were a couple bright spots, but you can look back through the stats. Even we're ahead of Colorado Christian 14-3 and need to run rule them and trying to get guys experience, and it backfired on us. And before you knew it, it was the game was in doubt for sure when it was 14-10, and they had runners on second and third. So. We cut down on walks, we did some good things, but overall it's not where we need it to be going forward, for sure. It's an improvement, but it's nowhere close to where we have to have it.
I was looking through the lineup for the second 2 games. Looks like you got production from everywhere in the lineup. It wasn't just like your 3 or 4 hitters. How big was that, do you think?
That's how you become a good offensive team. There's games where guys in the middle are going to struggle because they get pitched around a little bit and they try and do too much. So it's very important for guys in the lower part of the lineup to pick those guys up.
I know you didn't mention this, but all games were away. So knowing that you can win on the road, is that like a great precedent to start the season?
Yeah, it's I think we were actually home in one of the games. But yeah, we were on a place we'd never been. Turf field, we hadn't been on turf yet this spring. So I think everything they did a good job with it in just handling the situation. And that's part of it. We get to play at home again tomorrow, and then we'll be off for a week. But they need to understand that, you want to win a conference tournament at the end of the year. That's the kind of stuff that's going to go on. The weather might be bad. You may end up being visitor 3 games in a row. You have no idea. So being able to deal with those elements are positive.
Like I asked before, I know it's early, but what do you think the chemistry is like on the team right now?
I think it's good. It's, we won't know 100% for sure until we have a really rough weekend. And I think even the first weekend, it wasn't rough in their mind because it was the first weekend. We knew we had some kinks to work out. But this weekend, they approached things the right way. When it's 15 degrees outside and you're taking BP and it's raining a little bit and it's ugly weather, and all they want to do is make sure that they're ready for the game, then that's a huge positive sign because you could see it in some of the other teams that were there. They really struggled with preparation and wanting to, the want to be there a little bit. So.
Cool.
That's all I got. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Got it.
Thank you, everybody.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.